Alright, we're going to go through a series of things in today's video. I have listed the things out over here in this particular Excel sheet. And at the end of this video, we will have prepared the background necessary in order to tackle tomorrow's video, which will include how to deal with data validation, VLOOKUPs and HLOOKUPs. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. In today's class, we're going to learn how to enter and format dates. We're going to learn or almost relearn how to enter series. We will learn the art of entering random numbers in Microsoft Excel, what the paste special dialog is, and within the paste special dialogs, we shall take a look at how to paste special values. We will learn how to format a table, and we will learn how to insert sheet. Let's begin with the very last of these, how to insert a sheet. The keyboard shortcut for entering or inserting, a sheet in an Excel file is as follows: Alt and then H for home, and then I for insert, and then S for sheet. It's that simple. If you press Alt, then H, then I, and then S, you enter a new sheet in Microsoft Excel. Alright, I'll quickly double click over here where sheet 5 is written and rename this sheet. Let's call it 28 April 2020. And let's get started. So what we're going to do in today's class is we're going to build a table. For no particular reason, I'm going to begin in cell D7 and I'm going to enter a date over here 1/1/15, which is the 1st of January 2015. Now I'm going to right click over here, go to format cells and choose date. And within date, because I want to work with monthly data in our exercise, I'm going to choose a format which is not ambiguous at all. There is no confusion about what March 1-2 means. It means the third month of the year 2012. And so I choose this particular format. Now the thing that I need to keep in mind is if I were to enter 1/2/15, I would have expected that this will be the 1st of February 2015. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the paint format or the format painter button over here, and I'm going to copy the format from this cell and paste it on this cell. And at least for Indians, a slightly unexpected result. This ends up being Jan 15 as well. That's because I am using a computer in which the dates are stored as MMDDYY. So this becomes the 2nd of Jan 2015. So if I want to enter the 1st of February, I'll have to do this 2/1/2015. Now that I have both of these, I'm going to autofill this up until the current month, which of course is April 2020. Right, and just make a note that our series finishes in column BO. We'll need this in just a couple of seconds. Alright, and over here, I'm going to start typing in student 1, student 2, student 3, so on and so forth. But before we do that, let's just go back and acknowledge that this part is done and that this part, entering and formatting dates, is done. By the way, a quick source of information for you: if you click on home and then go to number and click on this little box over here, you get the format cells dialog all over again. So there are two ways to do it. You can either right click a cell, or you can follow the steps that I just showed you. Click on the home button and then go to the number tab and click on the little arrow over here. This might also be a good time to quickly remind you guys, double tapping on the right of your screen when you're watching a video will take the video forward by 10 seconds. If you double tap on the left part of the screen where the video is playing, it will go back 10 seconds. J on the keyboard takes the video back 10 seconds if you're watching on a desktop or a laptop. L takes it forward by 10 seconds. Useful tips if you ever want to run a quick recap of whatever it is that we have been working on. Alright, next, what I'm going to do is autofill a series over here. We've learned how to autofill series in earlier videos, but a quick recap is always helpful. Student 1, student 2, and just because I feel like it, we are going to have 1000 students, 1000 employees, 1000 salespeople, whatever you want. So just use your mouse and drag this down 1000 times, right? And we have a table in which we have 1000 students and we have about 60 months worth of data. Now, as you can see, some of the values don't fit in this particular cell. A quick way to adjust the value of the cell so that it accommodates the widest entry in that particular column is to move the cursor over here. You can see the shape change and then double click. Yeah. And now if I scroll down, I will see that all values have fitted in. All right. Now, that's a quick recap on how to enter series. Now we're going to enter random numbers. So what I want to do is I want to say, for example, measure the number of hours that a student attended classes in the month of January 2015, whatever that number might mean in real life. We're just generating some random numbers over here. We're going to learn a new function today. That function is known as the RANDBetween function that generates random numbers between any two values. These values can be negative or positive, doesn't matter. The only condition that Excel imposes is that the bottom or the smaller number must be lesser than the larger number, which is a reasonable requirement. Let's assume in our case that the number can be any number between 20 and 100. No particular reason. You could have chosen any two numbers that you wanted. And I'm going to copy this number down below. One easy way to copy it is to press Ctrl C and then Shift End and down. Note, however, that this will work only if you have a filled out table in the first place. We do not have a filled out table in our case. So unfortunately, whether we like it or not, we are going to have to go down the manual way. But going down 1000 rows can become quickly quite boring. We can use the page down button if you want to move even faster, which of course I do right now. So I'll keep pressing the page down button while keeping the shift key pressed so that I reach 1000 ASAP. Press Ctrl V and we have generated a column worth of random values. Now I copy this column, Ctrl C, and we move to the right. This is why I said keep in mind that our table ends at BO, so that I copy this out only until BO and not beyond. Press Ctrl V and we have our table. So we have a pretty big table now. So big, in fact, that it's quite possible to get lost in this table if you are stuck somewhere in the middle. So we have two problems. The first is we don't know which part of the table we are in when we are scrolling down. So we would like to take a look at whatever is written up top. And second, we would like it if we can make the numbers a little more readable. We'll get to that. But before that, what we need to do is first appreciate a problem and then work around that particular problem. The problem that we are trying to appreciate right now is this. Keep an eye on this table while I type something out in this cell. I'll type out a message that is entirely heartfelt right now. But more than the message, you need to take a look at what happened over here. For example, keep an eye on student 1 Jan 15. In my case, the value turns out to be 95. And if I type out some other message over here, this number changes. Why does it change? It changes because RANDBetween is a dynamic function. It reiterates or recalculates every time one part of the sheet changes. We don't want that to happen. We want these values to remain the same. We want them to be static. So what we do is we copy the entire table and we use something known as paste special, which is the next thing that we are going to learn. So we've learned how to enter random numbers, and now we're going to learn how to work with paste special values. So the problem, quick recap, is we have a table in which there are a lot of numbers that are being recalculated every time we change any part of the sheet. We want to stop that from happening. So first things first, I'm going to select the entire table. To select the table, I press, while being at the left top corner of this table, I press Shift and down and then Shift and right. That selects the entire table. And once I select it, I press Ctrl C and then I press Alt E S, Alt Elephant Singapore, which invokes the paste special dialog, and then I press V. which is values. So what I'm doing is I'm copying the table in which we have the formula that you can see over here, ran between 20, 100. I've copied the entire table and I'm going to paste the entire table on itself, so to speak. So typically you'll copy one part of a sheet and paste it somewhere else. Here we are copying one part of a sheet and pasting right there itself as values. So we don't paste all of what we have copied, we paste only the values, not the formula, not the format, not the comments, nothing else. In a later video, we'll take a look at all of what paste special enables you to do. It's a pretty cool dialog box. But for the moment, we're just going to paste as values. And as you can see, problem solved. This particular cell, for example, there is no formula associated over here. It just is a number. So now these values are dynamic. If I type something over here, these numbers don't change. So we've made dynamic values static. All right, so that's a quick explanation of what the paste special values dialog box is all about. Now let's go back to the problem that I was talking about earlier. We have a big table. One problem with the big table is if I start to scroll down and then I scroll to the right, I quite literally have no clue where I am in the table when I find myself in column AL and row 413. One, and second, at least in my case, I don't know about you, it becomes difficult to keep a track of which row we are speaking about over here unless I use a visual cue like this. So the number 72, if I want to find out which student this is associated with, I'm going to have to do something like this. There might be an easier way in Excel to give a visual highlight of a row in a table, and we're going to learn what that way is. Make sure you've clicked somewhere within the table, number one. Second, make sure that your table has no blank rows or blank columns. Blank cells are fine, but entirely blank rows or entirely missing columns, what I'm saying right now will not work. But so long as that is not the case, and that is not the case in our table, what I'm about to show you will actually work. So I go to Home, I go to Format as Table, and I can choose whatever format I like. I have a fondness for the color blue, so I'm going to choose this particular format. Excel correctly identifies, so long as I've clicked somewhere within the table, that this is the table that I want formatted, and it assumes that my table has headers. I can uncheck this if that is not true. In my case, it is true. So I go ahead and click on OK. Alright. Now what has happened is this has been formatted as a table, which will yield a couple of, well, slightly more than a couple of very cool things. The first of which is I now have a visual highlight, the alternating blue and white rows that make it easier to read the row that I am in. The second thing is Excel assumes that I need filters attached to each column in my table. If I don't need them, then I can press Alt D F F. Within the table. So long as I've clicked somewhere within the table, I go Alt D F F and the filters disappear. As you can see, there are no filters over here. If I press Alt D F F again, they come back. If I press Alt D F F again, they disappear. So Alt D F F is a way to toggle between having or not having filters for your table. The third thing that I need to mention about this table is if I leave a column entry blank, Excel autofills it by calling it column 1 and then column 2 and so on and so forth. One easy way to get around this problem is to use the space bar. So I click on this cell, press space and hit enter. The space counts as a character and then Excel is okay if the rest of it is blank. But the coolest thing, and the one that I find most helpful when I format a large table as a table using the method that I just described, going to Home and then going to Format as Table, is this. Click within a table and start scrolling down. And notice something very interesting that happens over here. A, B, C, D, E have now been replaced with column headings so long as I am within the table. Click outside the table and they go back to A, B, C, D, E, F. But click within the table and we are back to it being formatted as a table. There is of course another way to do this. You can click on View and go to Freeze Panes. But to me this is slightly more convenient because so long as I click outside the table, the panes are effectively unfrozen, so to speak. But when I click within the table, I get the information that I needed. Alright, and that shows you how to format a particular table. So in today's video, we learned how to enter and format dates. We learned how to enter series. We learned how to enter random numbers. We learned how to paste special specifically values. In a later video, we will take a look at other things to do with the paste special dialog. We've learned how to format as a table. That's by going to home and clicking on format as table. And we started the video by learning how to insert a particular sheet. In tomorrow's video, I will save this file. In tomorrow's video, what we shall take a look at is how to use this table to learn how to build two extremely important formulas in Microsoft Excel, the VLOOKUP formula and the HLOOKUP formula. That's for tomorrow, however. Today I'm going to stop over here. But as always, I'll stop with a quick reference for you guys. And this reference actually comes from the missus. She recommends that if you want to watch something during this lockdown, you might as well make it the Kominsky Method, which is an American series that's available on Netflix, starring Michael Douglas and a guy called Alan Arkin. The wife loved the series. She loved it enough to ask me to watch it. I watched both seasons and I completely agree with her. It's great storytelling. Not a legendary series or not the best series you'll ever watch, but it's light-hearted, bittersweet comedy, and you get the assurance of acting that I suppose comes only with a certain level of age. Alright, so that's today's video. Tomorrow we will deal with VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, etc. As always, thank you for listening. Cheers.